In Indian economy, we are going to discuss about national income. Okay, so here income means indicator of progress. Okay, so it means before the idea of GDP, actually GDP was forwarded by the US economist Simon Kuznets. Okay, in 1934. So before GDP was invented, we used the national income as a indicator. Okay, so here income means what is coming. Okay, so for example, how much I'm receiving. Okay, so this is my income. So whenever it comes to the country, so it is a nation, so that's why we are talking about the national income. So how much it means, how much money the country is receiving as their income. Okay, so here income is nothing but what they are receiving. Okay, either it is positive or negative. Okay, if the it is positive, so it means the progress is there and the growth also is there. If it is negative, there may be a chance to we have to increase our growth and progress by using the national income. Okay, so here the national income is always be in the positive concepts. Okay, so this overall this method tries to calculate a country's income at a domestic and national levels. Okay, here domestic means the bottom levels, like for example, one company or one family. Okay, it means domestic means very less levels. In the same way, national levels means overall. Okay, it means this method always tries to calculate the country's income at domestic. It means the lower level to the top level. Okay, so there are four clear concepts which says about the national income. So GDP, NDP, GNP, and NP. So coming to the GDP, that is gross domestic product. Okay, so here domestic means within boundary. Okay, so here total within boundaries, so it means by its own capital. Okay, so here the GDP is the value of all final goods and services produced within the boundary of a nation during one particular year. Okay, so here the final stage means the stage of product. Okay, so the stage of a product after there is no chance to add value addition to it. So there is no value addition to it, but this is the final stage of the particular product. Okay, so here 1 year means the calendar year from 1st March to the 31st, sorry, 1st April to the 31st March is the calendar year. So comparing the GDP from 1st April to the 31st March, this is the particular year. So within the boundary, so the what's the value of the final goods and services produced of a nation. Okay, so how the GDP is calculated? So it is calculated by adding important terms, like first one is the national private consumption. Okay, so here one nation's private consumption means total money. So total, what's the money, what's the importance means the people who are consuming their important products. So total money spent by the consumers. So here the consumption is by consumers. Okay, so consumption means taking or using. Okay, so the total money spent by the consumers for the especially buying the goods and services. Okay, so it means a measure of all the money spent by the consumers nothing but people. Next, gross investment. So what is gross investment? The total expenditure or investment. Okay, so gross means total expenditure or investment. Next, government spendings. So how much money is spent by the government on goods, defense, health, education, for the important public purpose. There are some important works. So how the government is spending the money and how much money is spent by the government on these important features. Okay, next, last one is trade balance. Okay, so it means the exports minus imports. So one more thing here, the exports is always in the positive concepts, because uh, exports are always increasing levels compared with the imports. It means we should not depend on others. We always exporting our goods to the other countries. Okay, so here the exports is not in the negative value. So, overall GDP formula is personal or public consumption place, government expenditure place, private and public investment place, exports minus imports equal to GDP. Okay, so here this is the formula of the GDP. Okay, there was a change in the growth rate of an economy as compared with the GDP levels. For example, GDP of, okay, so last time, for example, 2021, $100. Okay, so that is the GDP level, and 2022 present level to $107. Okay, so here how much money is increased? $7 was increased compared with the Indian rupees. 7 rupees was increased. Okay, here the growth rate is 7%. Okay, so how the growth rate is created from the GDP levels? So compare with the last time or last year and present time or present year, so how much money is increased? For example, 7 rupees is increased, so the growth rate is 7 rupees. Okay, so next important thing is growing economy. So it means it is adding income in the quantitative terms, not qualitative terms. Okay, so because it is a quantitative concept, GDP is a quantitative concept, so it is always adding income in the quantitative terms. So what is quantity? Quantity means it's a volume or size or internal strength of economy. Okay, so it doesn't say about the qualitative aspects of the goods and services. So quality means the value or excellence or something new in the quality. Okay, so I think you may know the difference between quality and quantity. So here quantity means size or volume, and quality means the excellence, the value, the importance. Okay, so quantity, some are size of a particular thing. Okay, so GDP of all countries ranked by the IMF at purchasing power parity. Okay, on the basis of the purchasing power parity, it is giving ranks to all the countries, especially on the basis of the GDP level. Okay.